Hi, Dyslexic Genius. I'm back on the Cheney and I'm going to show you a quick way to clean. And when I tore the motor apart, I was complaining deeply about the grease. And this is all the grease I scraped off the outside of the motor. This is under the spring barrels, all over in here, all over the castings. What I did was I take a putty knife and I very gently scrape all this off. And the reason I use a putty knife is there's some little bitty washers or spacers in here. And if it's coated with grease, you won't know that you have this little spacer washer that goes on the end of this gear train. So I just don't go in there manhandling all the stuff. And then I wipe it off like this and I smooth it out, and I'm looking for little washers or nuts or something that's buried in the grease. After you do all that, because this is cast iron and it's fine, you want to end up with it looking like this. Yes, I use simple green on the spring barrels and the springs to clean them because that's easier because it's a bigger job. But cleaning this, the simple green just doesn't want to really take this wheel bearing grease off. So what you need is, you need a wire brush like this.
Brass, copper, what?
Brass and a brass one. You're going to use the brass one to come in here and clean out the teeth on the gears like this. And then on this one, you're going to come in like this with a brass one. But on the castings, you're going to use a steel brush because it won't hurt it. And I'm going to show you the easy way about this. And before I get there, I want to show you. What you want to do is go from this to this, is what we have to do on the motor. This is brass. I checked it. I wiped everything off with a towel before I started cleaning. You know, I took a shop towel like this, and I just start wiping all the excess junk off of it. And then I looked, and I said, oh, this looks like brass. So I came in here and I tested it, and I said, that doesn't feel like it's one of those plastic gears or those fiber gears. So I took a little WD-40 and wiped off a corner, and I go, oh, this is a brass gear. Well, this is great news, because now you can clean this, and then you have to come in with a straight razor, and you have to clean out all the inside of the teeth, like this. Very gently, getting all the junk out and looking for burrs. And then you can come back in and use an old toothbrush and WD-40 and scrub all this out. So you have to, literally doing a motor, you have to go from this to make them run right. Now to clean the casting, I run it in my WD-40 in a spray bottle. Spray it all on there and let it soak. Every piece of the motor has to be done like this. Take this, and it just eats this stuff up quickly. And it's going to turn into a black, wet goo. And you'll go through a lot of paper towels, and that's what it does. Cleans it like that. Everything's going to be all cleaned like that on the motor. This is a governor stop so it doesn't over rev. That's what this piece is here. So now you have a lot of hours and a lot of labor cleaning everything, and everything has to be done. The winding crank mechanism, the spring barrels, everything has to be cleaned like this before you start to assemble. And then before assembly, you're going to polish out this pivot and this pivot here. And I've already polished out right in here is where the spindle shaft rides in the casting. So everything's smooth. We get little burrs. We did have a little bit of wear of non-oiling. I think they thought grease was better than sewing machine oil. And that's my tip for the day.